Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Timing pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Welcome in, it's Braylon Edwards with Shep. Not today. Today, Braylon Edwards will be joined by somebody that you know, somebody you're familiar with. His name is Anson Wells. He is the heckler for Michigan State. Anson, what's up, man? It's been a minute. How have you been? Tell me the thing.
I've been fantastic. I love filling in on all the shows, but this feels like home, my friend. And I know we've got our loyal chat here today, so I brought some gifts. In fact, I went for a whole night looking through all of your sports cards.
Yeah.
And I found what I believe to be the best looking one.
Before you get into that card, let me bring something to everyone's attention. In about 20 minutes, we will be joined by big noon kickoff analyst Brady Quinn. You see that card? It made me think about him. He is also one of my former teammates and one of my favorite people in the world. We'll ask him some questions as it relates to his alma mater, Notre Dame, coming off a 14-2 season last year. Ask him about Michigan and what he thinks Sharon Bryce will be, and maybe a couple other questions. Then we'll get into some Lion stuff. I know he loves Dan Campbell. He was one of the guys. And so he's one of the first people to tell me that Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell were serious. This is 2021, so we'll be joined about 19 minutes or so. Speaking of time, did you see we started on time? That's something else we want to bring to you. 2 o'clock. I'm telling you, you better get here 1:59 starting now because we're ready to rock and roll. Anson, tell us about the cards.
This card is a Mr. Braylon Edwards one-handing a ball. Is that cornerback good?
Now, this is interesting because usually you come here with the same card, and I think people over time is like, oh, well, I really appreciate the card, but it's the same one. This is a new one. I told people, and I have the proof. Thank you, Anson. I never got stuck on Revis Island.
No.
I think he's one of the best DBs to play in the NFL. I didn't get stuck on Revis Island. And this card right here, pass that over if you could. Yeah. Pass that over here if you will. Let me get a little zoom
Those long arms, you got that.
a little zoom in and show you this piece right here. You see that right there? One hand catch a Rooney. That's in the end zone. This would have been December, give or take, December of 2007.
Right over
see what it
Revis.
is?
The silver autograph. This card, I want to keep it for myself, guys,
Yeah.
but
It wasn't. Now I will say it wasn't too many of those on Revis. It wasn't a lot of those in practice.
I was
but
gonna say,
there wasn't a lot
I
of
got
those
my
from,
fair share.
How
from
vivid is your
anybody.
memory of when you see something like that? How vivid is the memory of that play? Because you
Oh, I know
had so
the-
many plays.
I know the exact play. We were on the 4-yard line. It was a run pass option. If they played zone, then we were going to run the ball with Jamal Lewis. If they played cover 0, then they would just give me a shot on the fade. They played cover 0. They threw it
knew
up,
what it was.
and Derek Anderson.
Right.
All we ask is wide receivers. Same thing that somebody else who got the starting job as a third wide receiver for the Detroit Lions, Isaac Tesla. Congratulations. Detroit Lions move on from Tim Patrick. And just like Matt Shepard said, Isaac Tesla will be your 3 going into the
sir.
season.
Let's
go.
But
Crazy.
all we asked is big body receivers. Jared Goff, just give Tesla a chance. You see him in the end zone, you see a one-on-one, just give him an opportunity. Don't throw the ball out
Especially
of bounds.
one-on-one.
And that's what Derek Anderson did in that moment. He gave me an opportunity. I made a play. We ended up winning that game.
Derek Anderson won me a fantasy championship.
2007.
Fantasy
Now,
championship.
16 touchdowns.
In fact, we had our fantasy league the other night. We had our draft.
We
and,
talked about it yesterday. Kool-Aid and I actually opened up against each other.
Well, I brought in something here to show our people at home watching what Braylon did with his 4 picks. I'm going to pick on you a little bit here, my friend. I apologize. Kool-Aid, you got those first 4 picks for us?
Yeah, hold on. I even got it.
I got those picks, man. Bray, I'm sorry, man, that I got to be complicit in this.
It's not a super flex. You can only start 1 quarterback, man.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, my plan was to draft 2 quarterbacks and then lobby them, hold over somebody's head, hold them for ransom when I needed them. I told you, I'm not a fantasy guy. I don't care like y'all care.
We do care a little
at
too
that
much.
I don't care enough. At the end of the day, I wanted Lamar Jackson. That was it. Outside of that, I wanted Isaac Tesla to have some fun, and I'm rocking and rolling. Like, I don't
Hey.
care about the initial draft.
Right.
Because in any fantasy, you got to work throughout the season.
That is key.
That's why I'm actually, and Ricky pointed that out, I appreciate it. That's why I'm actually not bad, is working it out during the season.
Yeah,
Ooh,
man.
this is a game. Maybe because of experience, I can know who might rock in the game or who might be on and make that trade. The draft, I suck. I will agree. This is a bad draft. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bad draft.
You can't say that, man. You're going to be able to trade good in a couple weeks. Watch. You're going to have some ammo.
Watch when the season starts and you realize that DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers have been tapped in. Watch when the season starts.
I don't mind the DK pick. I don't mind the McCaffrey pick. I don't mind the Lamar
Two
pick.
quarterbacks.
In the 4th round, yeah, it was
Well,
a little early.
I did it wrong. What I was supposed to do is I was supposed to draft Lamar and Josh Allen and hold Josh Allen for ransom.
You would be able to hold him ransom for sure.
But you know what? Wasn't necessarily paying attention. I had other things going on when we were doing the draft. Maybe a little bit of
Always.
oregano.
Come on, man.
little oregano, if you will.
That's essential.
But yeah.
Let me catch them up on what's going on here today real quick with these cards. I have a number in mind, guys. It's 80. If you guys get over 80, this is the baddest bobblehead I've ever seen. It's like 20 pounds. It's got a great base. It's Iserman. Get us over 80 today, guys, and they're both going home to somebody on the wheel at the end of the show. Shout out to the Hobby House. My guy Shock's helping us out with a stand for our desk.
Side note, we got some people in the chat already asking questions on why is Braylon wearing a Dodgers jersey. This comes from none other than Dante151, who we love, we respect. He is one of the cornerstone pieces of the chat, understandably. There are two reasons why. One, Shohei Ohtani's number is number 17. Reason number two, Shohei Ohtani is the greatest individual player as of now, the potential that the MLB has ever seen, and everybody said it. I had a Jordan jersey too. Am I allowed to have a Jordan jersey at some point in time? I respect greatness. And also, the Shohei Ohtani jersey, which I hold near and dear.
I was about to say, I knew you was gonna do it.
It goes extremely well with the Kobe 8's, the Dodger version that came out right before the Kendrick Lamar concert. So this was kind of my Kendrick Lamar outfit, if you will.
The hookup.
Little Dodger blue, little Kobe 8's.
All right, I got
and it also is, last time I checked, 17.
It's a good number.
Clean.
It's a good number.
What 17 do you remember before 2007? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Braylon Edwards.
There's a guy by the Mistake by the Lake that put up some big numbers.
The Cardiac Kids.
You know what? He's actually the most legendary athlete to come out of Michigan this century. Some would argue that, but his name is Braylon Edwards.
Here, before we have Brady on, let's have some fun. There's a lot of football to get to. We will start that conversation with Brady Quinn. It's going to be a lot to dive into. NFL, we'll get his take. The Detroit Lions, we'll get him on that as well. We got some great stuff for you. We got a topic. It's the 12 stories that I want to feature in terms of NCAA football as well as the NFL. We'll get to all that. Anson wants to get to some Malik Beasley stuff in the second hour of the show.
But I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
I can't let you get away from this because you look so good in that jersey. I saw you
Appreciate
walking down Woodward, stopping traffic with the shoes matching, man.
Who am I, Pretty Woman? Is Julia Roberts?
My question, it was. My question is what was your first jersey?
Ooh. That's a really good question. Well, my dad's.
Okay.
My dad's jersey, Houston Oilers, 34. But, excuse me.
You guys get yours ready because I'm asking you next.
What is my first jersey?
I've told mine a lot of times.
Warm Moon.
We talked about
Ooh, I love that.
My dad got me a Warm Moon jersey. That's why.
Baby blue?
Man,
that was the coldest
Love
jersey
your blue.
ever, bro.
My dad got me a Warm Moon jersey, and I rocked it. Warren's my favorite quarterback. He and Steve Young.
Kool-Aid.
Oh, look, you guys already know, man. The first jersey I've ever had, Grant Hill jersey, man.
I should have known.
The shoes, too. I had the Filas, man. Shout out to my grandma. We were out on a school trip in Atlanta. It was popping everywhere. He was on every commercial, even down there. I was like, Grandma, I got to have those shoes.
I will tell Dante151 this, though. The only blue that I claim is Honolulu blue, just to throw that out there. So, appreciate you in the comments. And Grant Hill, those are the first basketball shoe of someone that my parents purchased.
Really?
And the only one, by the way. And the only one.
The only other one?
Yeah.
Shaq's.
My
My dad,
they were
Shaq's
affordable.
and Stephon Marbury's. My dad was all about that. Like, yo, these are some brothers. We're going to support them. They're affordable. And if you're a hooper, the shoes don't make you. So I was like, you know what? Let's rock, man. Definitely.
Yeah. Ricky,
Mine has a story attached to it. Whenever I say it, people look at me like I'm crazy. But it was the maroon Mateen Cleaves jersey.
Yes. I'm not mad at all.
Story.
Every time.
Hey, save the story. Save the story.
He had just won the championship at Michigan State in 5th grade, and I was the only one that picked Michigan State at my school, and I won the raffle for the whole school. So the next year, I wanted his rookie jersey, and I had no idea what the future held for him. So. That was my first jersey.
Like a proud Spartan, you were wearing that, right?
So wait. So you won March Madness, which ends in April.
Yeah, so think about it.
And then you didn't get the jersey until August?
No, to Christmas.
Oh, till Christmas?
Yeah.
I forgot I won.
I was a Mateen Cleaves fan at that point.
But it was a great kind of like, oh, by the way, I did forget I won this. It was like a good gift at the time.
Yeah, I loved it. But then, Mateen Cleaves, we know how that went.
Number 2, turquoise with pinstripes. Grandmama.
Larry Johnson.
Johnson with the
sick
Hornets,
one.
man.
That's a sick one. That's a sick one with the music.
I went to
in
Vegas
fact,
with Larry
let's stick to these kind of things. Kool-Aid, put up that list real quick. You know what I'm saying? Before we get Brady on here and have a good conversation. I was thinking about music albums that were important to me in my life. I was thinking about music. I was thinking about soundtracks. I was thinking places in my life, moments, you know what I'm saying, little areas in my life. And I came out with 5 albums, rap albums, if you will, that they take me to that place. I got It's Dark, Hell is Hot, DMX, it's the first album, 1999. That album came out and changed the game. And at this time, DMX was just raw, rugged, uncut, unfiltered. It was all the things. It was authentic. And he was the #1 artist in the world at the time, rap artist. It was not Jay-Z. The Black Album came on my senior year at Michigan. That was pretty much the soundtrack to my senior season at Michigan. When that Michigan State game happened, the infamous one, 3 touchdowns, all I played was What More Can I Say the rest of the season. And then Encore. The Graduation, that was Pro Bowl year for me, 2007. I think that album changed the game for Kanye. All his albums, and around that era that were coming out, were consistently pushing the goalposts further and further back. The Chronic. I think when I think of being like anywhere in the 90s, I think about the Chronic album. Hanging out with my aunties, my uncles, riding in cars, like the Chronic. Like that changed the game. Dr. Dre, Snoop, that was a relationship that is still strong today. So, and then TN 101. That was the year I got drafted. Had to have some Jeezy in there. I still can hear the intro in my head, bro. Like, when Jeezy came out, it was a sound check for the streets. Yeah, it was dope.
The whole summer.
It was really
Andy
dope.
rock with Detroit.
So those are 5 albums that define different points of my life, and I like them. You got anything along those lines?
Yeah, I share one with you. The Chronic made
did.
mine.
100%.
I mean, when that came out in the 90s, man, come on.
It just changed the game.
It did.
It was like, we're here.
You had to decide, are you East Coast or West Coast? I was West Coast, for sure.
I've always been East Coast in terms of what to listen to. I've always been that, but in terms of rocking with it, I rock more the West Coast.
There you go.
It felt like family. East Coast is always
like, being in the Midwest, we were lucky to not have to actually pick sides.
Not choose.
We can grab everything. Because we think about a lot of the South influences up there, like you got the TN 101, like we can listen to whatever you want.
That's a good point.
Yeah, being in the Midwest for music was the best, man.
It's a capital S, so fresh, and double OP.
go.
My very first album, or not my first album, but my first concert was Boston. So Boston's self-titled 1976 album, situation. Boston, is the only album I know the lyrics to front to back. That's why I gravitate towards techno, because I cannot discern or remember lyrics whatsoever. Terrapin Station by Grateful Dead. Shout out to Pistol Pete, our former producer. Masters of Reality by Black Sabbath, man. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. That album is excellent start to finish. And then we've talked about this one before, and I would be remiss to leave it off any list. The Fugees, The Score.
Ooh, sneaky.
1 to 15, top-notch album.
That's a sneaky list right there.
It's a story.
Yeah.
The whole thing works as one. It's beautiful.
I like that. What you got for me over there, Ricky? I know you got something in the audio booth.
Oh, I love it.
You the music man. What's up, brother?
As soon as you text this, I said I love it because I know you were specific about, like you said, that describes you, not necessarily your favorite albums, but album that describe you.
Yeah.
So I go with NERD's first album, self-titled album. It's kind of a rock hip hop vibe back in the day.
We are the same person.
Love that album.
Chad, Pharrell. There we go.
Oh my God, love that album. Then we got 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. That was That album was like, that's my favorite hip hop album of all time.
I went to the first concert here. You want to hear a funny story?
What up?
When he came in concert, it was 2002. When that
Okay.
came out, it was at the Fox. That was the first one. Eminem opened up for him.
Oh, that sounds nuts.
Eminem opened up for
Open
him
for him?
at the Fox.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of Eminem's performance because it was the first time I ever had alcohol.
Oh, okay. So you was partying.
But when you're 20 years old, you recovered. I did see 50. I did see 50. All of 50. but
Oh
yeah.
man, best rap album of all time for me.
Fox.
All right, Graduation was on my list, but I could move that out of the way for Speaker Box and Love Below. If I could put those two together.
Ooh, the last black album to win Album of the Year at the Grammys was
Man.
Love Below.
I
and
listen to
Speaker Box,
Roses on the
2004.
regular, dog. Like I listen to Roses on the regular. That's one of my favorite songs ever.
21 years ago.
Then we got Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City.
Respect.
Love that album. Listen to that front to back. Know that word
Money
for word.
Trees.
And then lately it's been Life of Pablo, Kanye West.
Ooh.
Life of Pablo is one of them albums that,
I like
you really
these
sit
lists.
and listen to it and understand the time frame he was in
Yeah.
after finally
I agree.
breaking through with Yeezy. Love the album, man.
I agree. I
Yeah.
see you out here. Solid list from both of you individuals. And last, it just leaves the main man to the right. Kool-Aid, what you got for us?
Hey, look, man, it's no secret. I've had an adventurous upbringing, and that's where it brings me to the group Take Six, man. My uncle, Cedric Dent, is a
get the
part of that
smooth
group.
music.
Hey, and that's where the smoothness comes in, man. The jazz and all of that type of stuff, man. Shout out to them. Talking about Grammy winners, their first two albums, Gold and many more. And everything they did from the gospel scene all the way down to the jazz scene, tearing
That's
up Detroit
amazing.
to every jazz festival across the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, including being #1 artist even in places like Japan. You know, they played a big role in my life, man. My pops was proud of him. He helped to do some things behind the scenes, and he held groups here as well. So Take Six is one of those groups. The album So Much to Say
I got
was the
some
one
Take
for
Six
me.
in my Serato. I got some Take Six in my Serato.
Yeah, if you guys remember her, she did that song, and she actually sampled them, and they got some
That's
great
what's
off of
up.
that. Shout out to
Good,
Take
good.
Six, man. Pharrell Williams, though. I told you, Ricky, you in my mind, right? In
Yeah.
my mind, Pharrell Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that album, his solo one, that one was for me.
First of all, that girl with him and Snoop.
Man.
Yes.
That girl with him and Snoop.
Quick
what?
story, I forgot. I got to see Pharrell in his
Beautiful
hometown one
song.
time, and I got to
VA?
meet him.
Me too.
And all I did was thank him for his album. I thank you for
There's
that NRD.
something
He
about
stepped
this
back for a second, thank you. I was like, bro, that's all I want. I just want to thank you for that, bro.
Shout out
'cause
to
The
him.
music you made is amazing.
Ricky got off more words with Pharrell than I did. I was just like,
Hi.
Pharrell. Like, yes, freaking Pharrell, man. Because I was a producer. I'm a producer, man. And he did a lot for me as it relates to that style, that sound, and everything.
Yeah.
Eminem, Encore.
Yeah.
Specifically Encore for me because that was the first album. That was my freshman year in college. That was when I could make music mine.
Yeah.
Shout out to my
Okay.
parents and everything they did to try and raise me
Got some,
certain
got
ways.
some Eminem love up in here.
But
okay.
I had to have Eminem on there. Another one for me that's big, KB. His Glory Alone, KB. If you don't know him, get hip with him. He is signed to a major label. He does do positive to Christian type rap. And I
familiar.
like everything that he brings to the table. And I'm telling you, bar for bar, beat for beat, you're not going to find too many people that can mess with him. And then I had 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. But since you stated
that
it,
album.
I bumped it off for this album here. Joe Sample and Layla Hathaway's the song lives on. Rest in peace to the legend Joe Sample. If you guys aren't familiar with jazz music, I came up on a lot of jazz music, and Layla Hathaway is hands down the single best living vocalist on the planet right now. So shout out to her. And my honorable mention, because this is whenever my cousins would pick me up, and my mom would be like, okay, he's going out of here with the button up and everything. And I would switch to the jeans and a white tee. It was B Jizzle. All right?
BG.
BG, bro.
BG
My
spent a lot of
cousin
time
Will.
in Detroit.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
My
he spent a lot of
cousin
time in
Will,
Detroit.
that's
BG was
all
big
he
in
bumped,
Detroit.
and his trunk
Yeah.
sounded
Yeah.
like cans.
Yeah.
But shout out to BG.
Kool-Aid, how did we leave?
Chopper City.
How did we leave Headhunters off this list by Herbie Hancock?
Ooh.
I don't know, man. Look,
Answer
But
coming
maybe
in
the
with
most
knowledge.
influential album in jazz history.
and listen, I have over probably 800 records. Shout out Freddie Feld. He knows this too. My grandfather left me a crazy collection, man.
Awesome.
He's also part of that collection.
Very good, very good. Rest in peace to your grandfather.
Thank you, bro.
Hey, you guys have some very, very world traveled,
Eclectic.
eclectic taste in music. I'm always excited when people, their list they changed and there's different music and there's different genres and different things. Mine's is boring. It's all rap. But this is what I was trying to do.
That's
I
not
was more so
boring.
using that. But we can.
Rap is so well versed.
We'll have to do this again and just kind of do genres.
Yeah, where
can
does
figure
Mobb
it out.
Deep, the infamous, rank for you?
Who?
The album, The Infamous. Top 10?
Infamous definitely. It's top 12 for sure.
So good.
Top 12 for sure.
Good. I had to
Before
ask.
my time.
Had to ask.
100%.
Rewind back to it, I promise.
Well, look, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move forward ahead. We'll get Brady Quinn in here soon, and we'll have that conversation with him. A lot to go over the NCAA landscape as well as the Detroit Lions. But first, we'll get a commercial break in, and then we'll get back. Let's talk a little bit about Isaac Tesla. I know we've been beating his name into you guys, but he's here now. He's here to stay. He is your third wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. We won't talk about what that looks like. But first, let's get a message in from Vin Johnson. Justice, it means different things to different people. But whether it's a settlement or a verdict, justice is always worth the fight. And that's what Vin wants to do for you. Let Vin fight for you. Vin Fights is the guy. VinFights.com. That's how you can reach them. If you've got a case, contact the fighters of Vin Johnson Law today. Get the justice you deserve. Tough, tenacious trial lawyers. That's what they are. Give Vin Johnson a call today.
And there's only one place you need to go if you're trying to upgrade your relaxation game, man. You got to check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It's the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest with top brands of massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki. They are located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan. He's the wellness doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel ever. Book a visit right now, man. MassageChairHouse.com, or you can just scan that QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to the ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! The boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Cruiser Vodka, Iced Tea, and Woodward Sports Network. All the guys here are going crazy over Sun Cruiser. It's real vodka, it's real iced tea, no bubbles, just a clean, crisp sip that won't fill you up on game day. Only 100 calories and 4.5% alcohol. Perfect for tailgates, couch gates, or wherever you're watching Detroit football. So this season, let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser and Woodward Sports. Please drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly, but also make sure you take care of your vehicles. Now, look, I know it's getting a little cooler outside. The sun's going down a little bit earlier now. You know, it's not necessarily 90 degrees, but you still need your car washed. And the place that you're going to do it at is Jack's. Right now, we can get your free car wash if you text WSN to 888-522-1729. Again, that's 888-522-1729. Jack's is the car wash for everybody. Over 40 locations around the state. Free vacuums, free compressed air, free mat cleaning rooms. It's where I get my car washed, and they leave it sparkling every time. I BS you not. I'm looking at Jack's car wash legitimately right here on Maple and Woodward. Join it. Come up and also get that $29.99 unlimited deal where you can get your car washed for the whole month for $29.99. Use Jack's. All right, welcome back to the show. I see that Chris Sip got to you a little bit, huh? That Chris Sip.
These guys
It
are
is.
really
It's tricky
excited
reads.
about it, though. It's a tricky read.
It's a
but
tricky read.
Everybody's so stoked. I don't really drink. You guys know that. I'm going to have to try one.
Well, look, I know you're stoked about those, and I'm stoked about our next guest, man. He is a friend. When I say friend, he's a brother. He's more than that to me, but he's also a member of Notre Dame royalty, over 11,000 passing yards when he was at Notre Dame, and now he is an analyst. And when I say analyst, he is one of the best analysts, also first-round draft pick in 2007, Big Noon Kickoff. You got to watch him, and they feature a major matchup early in the year. First game of the year will be Ohio State and Notre Dame. Let's welcome in. He is Brady Quinn. What's up, B? Get the ball. Brady. I can't hear him on my side.
I can't either.
I can't hear him on this side. I can't hear him.
Neither one of us can.
Do it on that side. Give us 2 seconds, Brady, to work the kinks out.
How long did you guys play together in Cleveland?
2007, 8, 9 was traded, and so 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, we got in 3 years. Try it again. Let's take a quick break. I can see you. You're still handsome as ever. You're still handsome as ever. Big season coming up. It's
He looks like a quarterback.
He does. Not when you see him in person.
We are being attacked by.
It's a new DJ mix.
Working on some tech difficulties.
Yeah, working on
here,
some
guys.
tech difficulties real quick. Hey, look, let's take a quick commercial break. That's what we'll do. Take a quick commercial break. We'll get Brady Quinn when we come back, and can't wait to get this conversation started. Sorry about that.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
So, you're a Detroit sports fan, huh? Well then, make sure you subscribe to all the Woodward sports pages on YouTube. We have Woodward Baseball, Woodward Pistons, and of course, Woodward Hockey. Get breakdowns, updates, and bonus coverage of all things Detroit. So pick your favorite sport and follow along with the best Detroit sports coverage ever made. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Kool-Aid, you'll let me know something when you do.
Wednesday.
I know, right? It's another day in the life, man. Look, let's start here until we get Brady, Quinn, and figure this out. I saw something interesting. I'm going to name some players, and you tell me if these players are better than
some Detroit Lions, I hope?
100%.
Let's do it.
All right, here you go. Amon-Ra St. Brown. We'll start him as the baseline. Is George Kittle better than Amon-Ra St. Brown?
George Kittle?
George Kittle.
Oh, man, that's a tough one to start off with.
George Kittle. Better than Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yes.
All right. Tristan Wirfs, tackle.
Yes.
Okay. Is Amon-Ra St. Brown better than A.J. Brown?
Yes.
Is he better than Zach Bond?
Yes. Bond's only done it 1 year.
Okay. Is he better than Brock Bowers?
I'll say yes again because Bowers needs to do another year, but that guy's on his way to being the best tight end ever.
Is he better than Lane Johnson?
Are we talking track record? Or are we talking 2025? Because I got to go with Lane Johnson. I'd be disrespecting him, but it's close, man.
Okay, that's fair.
Super close.
Is he better than Max Crosby?
No.
Okay.
The ultimate disruptor.
Okay. Is he better than Jaden Daniels, your guy?
Yes. At this point, yes. Jaden Daniels got lucky in some games and had it all come together in a first-round win, but, again, needs to do it for more than a year.
I'm glad you said that because the NFL's top 100 players, as voted for by the players, they feel the exact same way as you. Amon-Ra St. Brown comes in at number 20 this year on the list.
I didn't get any wrong?
You did not get any wrong. The guys you named, that was actually in order. It goes backwards. Jaden Daniels is 21. Max Crosby is 2. Lane Johnson 24. And so on and so on and so on. Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the cool thing about this is we talk about it so much, the strides he's taken. Now, it took me a while to realize how good Amon-Ra St. Brown was, how good he is. But I don't think it's taken the league that long. This is by your peers. And if the league is voting for it, if the players are saying this is where you are, ladies and gentlemen, it is not true. It's damn true. What say you?
Well, all the names you gave me, I'm like, well, if this is the category he's in, I think it's correct. I think it means he's a top 30 player. But, you know, the word that keeps coming back to me is disrespect. And there's a lot of disrespect for the Lions in total right now. 10.5 is your win total. That's your over-under for this team that won 15 games despite losing their entire defense, basically. You look at the coach, you look at guys like Amon-Ra, a guy that's disrespected in the draft and continues to put up top 4, top 5 numbers every year, but he's ranked 7th or 8th as a receiver. This team, this city, our fan base, we're all disrespected. That's kind of what I love about this. When people are focused on the Bears, we'll play the underdog role. We'll play disrespected, and we will smack you in the damn mouth for it.
Yeah, 100%. You know, we talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver with the Detroit Lions, J-Mo, the other wide receiver that he's starting with, and now Isaac Tesla. We talked a lot about him on the Braylon's breakdown. I showed you the things that I liked about him. I showed you the route running. I showed you his speed. I showed you his physicality. But at the end of the day, he just turned hits. And I think that's why he got the job. You can't make the team from the tub, and that's where Tim Patrick was. You saw Isaac Tesla every practice make a play, every game make a play. He had 3 touchdowns in 3 preseason games. I told you, in my 9 years in the NFL, I got 2 preseason touchdowns. He has 3 already. Just talk about how excited you are for this new dimension, because he is the type of wide receiver that we've been clamoring for. The big guy that can run and jump, but also he can do the little things too.
Well, and we kind of got a poor man's version of that in Tim Patrick. And shout out Tim Patrick. He did some great things for this Detroit Lions team.
He was dependable.
Yeah, that's the word. But I don't believe that Tim Patrick was ever better physically and talent-wise than what Tesla is right now, even before he suffered those injuries that he suffered. What you see on Tesla, he just absolutely pops off the screen, and he exactly fills that role that we were seeking when we got Josh Reynolds, when we got Tim Patrick. Now you get a guy that physically is just so much more dominant than either of those two guys could have been on their best day. And oh, lo and behold, this guy went to Hillsdale. He's got his own Lions jersey. There's no question about culture fit. There was just a question of whether this could do it on the field. Like you said, Bray, he's done it in practice, and he's done it in preseason, but he's done it on a high level. I mean, I heard Maz talking about them maybe cutting Tim Patrick. Well, they traded him. They get a 6-rounder for him. Yeah. This team gets better in capital and on the field because Isaac Tesla is now the Lions' number 3, and what a number 3 we got, man.
And then you're talking about putting a sixth round pick in the hands of Brad Holmes.
That's right.
That is what you get excited
Christian
about.
Mahogany.
100%, and we'll see what he does coming up in a week or so at that left guard position. But you know what else it talks to, which I'm excited about? For Isaac Tesla to get the job, for them to move on from Tim Patrick, that also says somebody else trusts Isaac Tesla. One person we didn't hear a lot from was Jared Goff, number 16. These kind of conversations, they fall into Jared Goff's lap. Hey, Jared, how do you feel about him? What are you seeing? Are you seeing enough to move on from Tim Patrick? Are you seeing enough that you can develop a relationship with? And the fact that he's here and Tim isn't, that lets me know all I need to know about where Jared Goff is with his new third wide receiver.
Yeah, we were talking during the Lions postgame shows, KG and I, who would get to 2.5 sacks or touchdowns first, Tesla or Hassanein? Obviously, I don't think Hassanein is in a position to be able to rack up those sacks right now. But now 2.5 touchdowns for Isaac Tesla seems very low. Tim Patrick, he's worth 3 a year, and he's not nearly as physically talented, especially in jump ball scenarios and red zone scenarios, as what we've seen out of Isaac Tesla. So now I'm just kind of curious, is 4.5 the number for touchdowns for this kid? What kind of projections can you have on an Isaac Tesla? He really fills a role for this offense that, you know, again, they went out and found a Tim Patrick to be able to do. Just a big guy that can go down and field and block, and in those scenarios when you're looking for a jump ball, whether it's in the red zone or on a third down, you get him out there and do that. But Isaac is so much more dynamic in that same role. You wouldn't have thought it, but we got better on offense with Isaac Tesla as our number 3 now.
Yeah, definitely excited, too. I'm also excited that Johnny Moe has another weapon, and we're still trying to figure out what Johnny Moe's offense is going to be. How is it going to differ from Ben Johnson? The fact that you bring in Johnny Moe, who's familiar with Jared Goff, he's familiar with this squad. He's making these calls, too. Yeah, this is just as much him as it is Dan Campbell, as it is Jared Goff saying, no, I like this weapon. I need this weapon. So excited to see what Isaac Tesla can do. And then he's a blocking wide receiver.
Yeah, he fits
He's
right
a blocking wide receiver. So
he just adds a dimension we've never seen with this BNL team.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I just got good news. We got Brady Quinn, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We'll have him on the phone, and we can finally dive into this conversation. Thank you to my man Ricky over there working hard. Spinny, I see you as well as Kool-Aid. They work diligently. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll get a message in from Les Stanford.
Hey, man, that 2025 model class, you got to take a look, all right? Les Stanford Buick and GMC, not only do they have great offers for everyone, but they also have an absolutely massive inventory. They got that 2025 Hummer EV SUT lease special for only $599 a month, or you could into the SUV Hummer EV for $699 a month. You see them there above my head. They also got that 2025 Sierra double cab, $169. Man, it sounds like 2018 pricing. I love it. Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford, Buick and GMC for all lease specials. Just Visit them at lesstanford.com.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Scan this QR code above my head. This will get you access to the office and actually to his schedule. Or you can just call the office at 248-426-9944. Michigan Sports and Spine. Trust the guy we trust. DMAC, 4 Stanley Cups. Guess what? Doc was there for every step of the way. You want to be with. And also, you don't have to be a former athlete. You can be a guy just trying to get out there and play a golf round. You can be a girl playing pickleball. Get out there with Dr. Pierce. He can diagnose anything.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. Then fight.
Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, a network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
All right. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys for being patient, as well as Brady Quinn. I appreciate you. His time is valuable. Already did the introduction, over 11,000 yards passing at Notre Dame, first-round draft pick, 2007. He is a friend. He is a brother, and he's been working on Big Noon Kickoff now since 2019. He is my man, Brady Quinn. He is with us via phone. Brady, what's up, brother?
Not much. Second time's a charm. Sorry we couldn't do this visually, but at least we're able to do it in some capacity.
100%. We did get the visual, though. Got a chance to see you looking good, as always. I feel like, we talk so much about football. We talk so much about the Big Ten kickoff. I see you over there spinning. Thank you so much. But we don't talk about the family. He is also a proud father of 4, he and Alicia. How are the kids doing, as we have the picture in the background? Throw that up for us so let the people see Brady's beautiful family.
The kids are doing well. We actually have 5 now. We just had another one
Good
in
work.
January.
I'm always off by one.
Yeah. Well, we've been sneaking up on people. We just keep
having
out.
kids.
So I think we're done now, though. I think we're done with 5. We got our second
keyword
boy, this past January.
Well, that's good, man. Everybody looks good and in good health. I hope, I pray. Always good to hear from you. Look, I know you got time constraints because of the delay, so let's jump right into it. Big Noon Kickoff. You guys start off with a banger. It's Ohio State and Texas. Texas with Arch Manning started the first year. What does this game look like for you? What are you expecting to see from Texas and Ohio State in this game?
Well, obviously the storyline is going to be all about, the fact this is the first time in college football history we've seen 2 teams ranked this high squaring off in the first game of the season. And also, teams that are squaring off that, really faced each other last year in the semifinal, where one team was able to knock the other one out and go on to win a national championship. So a lot of unique scenarios, big picture about this game. And everyone's going to want to talk about the quarterbacks. It's Arch Manning. Anytime you've got a part of the lineage of the Manning family, there's going to be a lot of hype, but it's justified. Arch is the type of player, Braylon, when you go and you see him throw in person, you talk to him, he has all of it. He's got the size, he's got the arm, he's got the athleticism too. They were bringing him in last year with a package where, he'd run some zone read. He'd have some quarterback design runs as a changeup, for what they're doing with Quinn Ewers. So he's got that element to his game, which is probably different than Peyton and Eli. And then on the flip side, you got Julian Sain, a very highly touted recruit. Initially had committed to Alabama, didn't really stay there long, was actually, left once Nick Saban decided to retire, and ended up at Ohio State. And now he gets his turn after winning a quarterback battle this spring and training camp. And he's the type of player that he's got a really tight, compact motion. He's an accurate passer. He can spit the football around the field. He's not a dual threat guy, but he can utilize his legs. And he really won the quarterback battle, through his decision-making. That's one thing that you keep hearing Ryan Day say over and over is that was the most consistent thing about the quarterback competition was he kept putting his team in a good position. And with a roster that has a guy like Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, who'd be a number 1 wide receiver on most teams, and not to mention Brandon Enos, all South Florida products where they played their high school days, but the 3 best wide receivers in college football. That's all you really got to do. And probably the secret weapon or the X factor for this year's team is going to be Max Clare, the tight end that transferred in from Purdue. He was one of the bright spots for Purdue last year that didn't have many, but he is a legit passing threat, and I think he's going to play a big factor in this game if Texas tries to play the type of defense they did in the semifinal game and take away Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, Arch doesn't hit. He's not Eli's son. He's not Peyton's son. Cooper was a pretty athletic, play wide receiver, so I think that's where he gets that speed from. Talking about Ryan Day, talking about the Ohio State side of things, what does it look like for Ryan Day this year? He wins the national championship after not being able to beat Michigan over the years, but now it doesn't matter because you got the 12th playoff game. They came to play in the playoffs, and they won the national championship. Where's Ryan Day in Ohio State currently right now?
I think they're in a good spot, and I think one of the things that this is going to sound odd to hear, but I had a chance to speak with them this offseason. Okay. And college football is becoming now about the postseason, about the college football playoff. If you think about the history of the college football, it's always been about the regular season, and then we either had a format where we just announced after bowl games who we thought the winner was. We had the BCS where we got 2 teams playoff for, then we went to a 4-team playoff. Now we're getting to the point where we've got a legit tournament, and that's going to only keep expanding from here. And talking with Ryan Day, one of the comments he made to me was like, we have to, figure out how to prepare our team to play its best football at the end of the season, not necessarily at the beginning or at the middle point. And so there's going to be some losses along the way. It's more about if you can get into the tournament and then if you can get hot. And that's exactly what Ohio State did. I mean, we were there for the Ohio State-Michigan game. That was as shocking of performances as I've seen. And if you were going to tell me that Ohio State would turn around and drum Tennessee like they did at home after that performance versus Michigan, I would have said you're crazy. Yeah. I mean, literally, I couldn't have felt any more after the previous 3 years being the biggest favorite ever in the history of that game at home, and then laying an egg the way they did. I did not think they'd be able to turn it around, but they did. They played up to their capabilities. So it's really a credit. Yeah. It's a credit to maybe the philosophy of Ryan Day and that staff and how they're able to get their team to rebound, the leaders on that team. But it pains me to say this. I feel like as we expand the postseason, it takes away from some of the rivalries because that Ohio State-Michigan game always meant something. It meant something for the conference. It meant something for the national championship. A game like last year, it meant something for the rivalry, but ultimately it didn't end up impacting Ohio State's ability to win a national championship.
Brady, I got to sneak in one here. What the hell is wrong with Ohio State University? No flag planting, no Portnoy. I hear there's an open seat at your desk for the show. Will you or will you not be sneaking Dave Portnoy into OSU? I need to know.
Guys, if you can hear me, I cannot hear Shep.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, B.
Can you hear me? This is Anson, actually, Brady.
I can hear you now.
Okay, no, I was saying, what the hell is wrong with Ohio State University? No flag planting, no Portnoy. I hear that you've got an open seat in your program this weekend. Will you or will you not be sneaking Portnoy in? And again, what the hell is wrong with Ohio State, man?
Well, look, that question is for someone I think at Ohio State to probably answer in regards to what's taking place. I mean, all I know is, we're excited about the partnership that we have with Barstool and with Dave. Dave obviously is a very polarizing figure, and he's an unapologetic Michigan fan, and given his lineage and given his alma mater and his fandom, he should be. I think the thing that everyone kind of misses out about Dave Portnoy joining, because a lot of people, when the announcement was made, were like, "Oh, this is Fox's move to combat Pat McAfee at ESPN." While there are some similarities to that, I think there's stark contrasts. Pat played at a high level. Yeah, he did. He knows the game. It's a completely different conversation, and he's more of an entertainer. Dave Portnoy's built up, at Barstool Sports to be this behemoth of a following, and has kind of a cult following. And even though he is entertaining, he's not going around the WWE and all these other things to perform for people. He's a businessman. And I think what he represents more than anything else is a fanatic. He is a huge, true, diehard Michigan fan, and we're giving him the opportunity, not only Barstool, but him as well, to be a part of a show where we've really never had that. I think we turn on the TV, we always expect to see people who have played, have coached, they have some sort of maybe betting insight to it or fantasy insight to it. This is a new age of where we're bringing on someone who maybe he's going to talk about betting, he's going to talk about some other things, but his expertise is his fandom. Like, he's going to be speaking for the common man out there or for the fan out there who's a big fan of a team, or maybe they hate that team, or maybe they got opinions, but he's going to be able to speak his mind about that. And that's a platform that, outside of, different radio shows or shows where someone can call in, you don't really see that on TV very often. Yeah. So it's a unique approach to it and a new approach. Is everyone going to like it? Of course not. That's just kind of part of how it is. But everyone's going to watch, because whether you love it or hate it, people are going to watch.
You're absolutely right. In 2025, it's all about inclusion. Yeah, I don't mind inclusion as long as the people that are being included are worthy of being included. And to your point, he does the homework, he does the research, he speaks for the common man. And when you listen to him, if you get past the antics that you see go viral on social, and you actually just tap in and watch a podcast, he is very knowledgeable when he does have some fun with it, so I'm excited. Look, I know we got started a little bit late, so we're going to do quick hits in college, because I do want to get to the Lions. I want to get to what they look like this year and a couple questions around the league. So these are quick hits. Brian Kelly, 29-11, his 3 years so far at LSU. Every coach that has coached at LSU last 5 coaches, at least 4 have won national championship. Does Brian Kelly figure it out this year?
I don't think so. And I think they've got their hands full week 1. They're playing Clemson. That's a team that I've got high expectations for. Yeah, they are real. And Kate Klubnik's going to be a guy we talk about next year being the first round of the draft. So I don't think it's going to get off to a good start. I think they'll be talented. I love Garrett Nussmeier. He'll be a first-round pick too. But too many questions for me on the defensive side of the football. And I think, to be quite honest, like Georgia, Texas, those are still the teams to beat in my mind in the SEC.
Marcus Freeman, last year he goes 14-2 and finishes number 2 in at the end of the season. He was number 2 in the country, at least Notre Dame was. I like the turnaround that he's had. Is Notre Dame back to restored power like they used to be under Brian Kelly, like they were when you were there, like they were in the 80s, essentially? Are they coming back to that type of prominence now under Coach Marcus Freeman?
I think it's even past that. I think it's more closer to the talent that you saw back in the 80s with Lou Holtz, where this is a complete roster. They've got depth as well. It's one of the reasons why they were able to make it to the national championship game last year. There was a ton of injuries on defense. People tend to forget that. I mean, Ben Morrison, who ended up being a second-round pick due to a hip injury, his absence allowed for Leonard Moore to step up as a freshman and to become a freshman All-American, and now he's viewed as arguably the best quarterback in college football. So there's tons of guys that have returned that have a ton of talent and ability, and I think they're going to showcase themselves on a big stage Sunday night versus Miami. But this is as deep of a roster and as talented of a team as Notre Dame has ever had, and I think there's no doubt they'll be in the playoff and they'll be in contention for a national championship again.
Brady, you and I are closer than ever now. You know why? Because my coach's grandson is the starting quarterback at Notre Dame, so shout out to C.J. Carr. Hope he does well against Miami. They brought that rivalry back, at least for a temporary. Let's get to Michigan real quick, and then we can get to the league. Sharon Moore and Bryce Underwood, that is all you hear out of Ann Arbor. Excited about this season. So here's my quick question. Michigan, I look at their schedule. It's very favorable. If Chip Lindsey and the offensive line work, Michigan is a 10-2 team, maybe 11-1. What say you?
I say that. I mean, I think they're one of the, if you look at the top 2 teams, or 3 teams really, it's Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, and then for their, the talent, et cetera. But after that, I think the teams that no one's talking about enough, it's Michigan. If Bryce Underwood's everything they say he's going to be, and he looks the part, that's for sure. Washington is another team. I think you look at Indiana, they've got, a little tougher schedule this year, but they bring in Fernando Mendoza. It came from Cal. Not a lot of people know about him, but he fits their system. Those are just 3 teams. And Illinois, everyone's high on. I think they could take a step back, much more difficult schedule this year. And they won a lot of one-score games. Those don't always flip in your favor the way they did last year. So I like Washington, Michigan, and Indiana once again to be those 3 teams that are going to surprise, I think, a lot of people in the Big Ten this year that people aren't talking about enough.
Yeah, you heard it from Brady Quinn himself. I actually agree with everything he said, not because he's right, but because he's BQ, of course. Let's get into the NFL, big guy. Detroit Lions this year. A lot has been made. Ben Johnson leaving, Aaron Glenn leaving, taking some of the coaches they did. Most notably, the offensive play calling is now in with the New York Jets. He's the offensive coordinator. What does this look like? So many people making it that, Ben left, so now Jared Goff is cooked. Well, Aaron Glenn left, so now the defense doesn't have the identity that they had last year and have that. What say you about this team that has a lot of stars, has a couple potential gold jackets, and they're a damn good team?
They are a damn good team, and it's a talented roster. They've done a tremendous job. Brad Holmes has done a great job building it up. To me, the best teams are always player-led, and the coaches will come and go, especially talented ones like Aaron Glenn and like Ben Johnson, because they deserve their shot to be head coach and try to replicate what they've learned from Dan Campbell, but what they want to do on their own. And so it provides opportunity for someone else. But ultimately, it's still Jared Goff as the quarterback who's going to be able to take a lot of those things they did with Ben and implement them now. And he's played long enough where really he should be controlling everything out there on the field anyway. So, to me, I don't think there'll be as big of a drop-off. I think there will be a heavier load placed on Jared Goff's shoulders in game planning and preparation and breaking down and coming up with some unique plays. But, hell, dude, you know how this is. It's a copycat league. It doesn't take much to turn on, on a Monday morning and go back and watch what the Bears are doing and try to implement that against some of the different division opponents and put it in your install. We've had plenty of coordinators through the years that just did that same exact thing.
Yeah.
And tried to act like it's their own. So,
it's kind of like that Ben Johnson.
I still think this is.
It's like that Ben Johnson play where he did the hook and ladder to the tight end, and then the 49ers ended up using it that same day. Yeah.
I was just going to say, man, like you see this all the time. It's a copycat league. So I'm still high for the Lions this year. I would not be shocked if they found their way through the NFC to get to a Super Bowl. It's basically, a handful of teams that I think ultimately are really competing in the NFC.
Who are
and
they?
The AFC is a much more muddied picture.
Who's the NFC team?
I think right off the bat, Philly. Philly's number one.
Yeah.
Their roster's ridiculously stacked and deep. I think I still give the benefit to San Francisco, although I'm not as high on them. It feels like that roster is aging, and they're kind of searching for, if they've hit their ceiling or not with Brock Purdy, even though they just paid him. The Lions are right up there, too. I think Green Bay is going to be a really good team that people probably aren't talking about enough. Really curious to see what happens with Minnesota with J.J. McCarthy. They could kind of be taking a step back. Outside of that, probably the Bucs are another surprise team in the NFC South.
I like the Bucs.
I like what they've done with their offseason moves, with their roster. I like the fireness that Baker Mayfield brings. I think he fits, that kind of yin and yang with Todd Bowles, who's a very calm demeanor guy. And then you got this fiery quarterback, and it just seems to work. And then the Rams. It's all going to be dependent upon Matt Stafford being healthy. I dealt with back issues. He might be able to get through week 1, but it's weeks 2 through 18 that you see if he's going to be able to stay healthy and if they're going to be able to stay afloat. But if he can and he can play the way he's capable of, they're another team that's going to be in the mix.
Brady, 2 more quick ones for me, and then I think Answer has one more, and we'll let you get out of here, man. I really appreciate you for sticking with us through this. One of the big things that we've talked about is Jared Goff having to no longer taking snaps from Frank Ragnow. A center is very valuable to a quarterback, especially when you have a center as good as Frank Ragnow and also the right tackle for Kevin Zeiler. What does it look like for a quarterback to start developing new rhythm, new chemistry for this quarter center back exchange? What does that look like? Because when you get used to a Frank Ragnow, when you get used to a Jason Kelsey, to go to another person, it seems like you take a step back and have to figure that out. What does that look like?
The hardest thing for them to figure out and you to be in sync on is the cadence. Because there's times as a quarterback when you are under center in particular and you are kind of thinking or the defense is doing something and you're kind of drawing out the cadence, red, Eddie, red, and they obviously have to snap and then react and be able to get off the football to get their block. But those guys, the centers, especially the longer you work with a guy, they have a feel. They know. They know, when you want the ball and, if you're drawing something out, why you're drawing it out. So all those things, to me, are reasons why it just takes time for you to get some of those live reps. And until you get into, a live game scenario, it's hard to iron out. But the cadence is always – not the quarterbacks in exchange. You do a ton of physical reps of that.
Yeah.
It's just getting those actual reps of you two working in sync on the cadence.
This is another way to ask this question, Brady. I know it's redundant, but I'm going to try to change and ask it a different way. When you think about Super Bowl teams you believe can win a Super Bowl, there's a reason why you feel they can win. You look at Kansas City Chiefs, well, they've already done it, doesn't matter. You look at the Eagles, it's the defense, it's the running game. You look at the Buffalo Bills, we believe it's Josh Allen. You look at the Baltimore Ravens, it's the defense, and it's Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. What is it about the Detroit Lions that make them a for real Super Bowl team, a team that you actually believe can win the Super Bowl? I feel like every year there's a couple teams that you throw out there like, oh, yeah, this team and this team, but you don't really truly believe it. You only believe it about a couple. What is it about the Lions that makes them a team that you believe can get there and potentially win?
I think they've got a combination of all the pieces. They've got a passing game with Goff, obviously the receivers. I've always been a huge fan of Amon-Ra St. Brown since his college days, even though he's an SC guy, and obviously a deep stable of backfield. But defensively too. Hopefully Hutchinson coming back 100%, being the player we think he's going to be. All those pieces they have. You got that star power, and they've got it. They've built up this roster in the trenches. They built up this roster with the skill players, and I think people for some reason kind of write off
that, Goff, I don't know if they don't feel like he can do it. I mean, he's been to one before, and he's played big in some moments too. So I look at it and just say, this is a guy who, I truly believe, can win a Super Bowl, will win a Super Bowl. Will be this year. I don't know. I mean, when you talk about those teams we mentioned that have, I think, a shot at winning a Super Bowl in the NFC, there's a little luck that comes in, that's involved too. And it takes, health. It takes, guys not getting hurt. You're not having to go to a second, third string guy or go to the free agent market to sign a guy off the street.
Catches off face
so all those things play a factor. Yeah. Well, that too. Yeah.
Two very quick ones, Brady. As a former quarterback, you got Isaac Tesla now as the number 3 here in Detroit. We shipped Tim Patrick out of town. When you look at this young man, is it somebody that you would love to have thrown to, Isaac Tesla?
Yeah, I mean, he's got all the physical traits and ability, that's for sure.
He's
and
built like Samardzija.
I was going to say, he's a big dude,
yeah.
and he's athletic. So he's going to be one of those, like, sleeper fantasy picks. I'm not a fantasy guy, but, hell, if you're looking for someone who I think is going to be productive, like, he's definitely one of them that I don't know that we're talking about enough. But I also think he's not going to get as much attention. So he's going to have a great opportunity to make an impact as a rookie. And as long as he gets the trust and confidence of Jared Goff, I mean, that's the biggest thing is when you've got a veteran quarterback and you have a young player who's in there, you're throwing the football long before he's getting to the spot where he needs to get to. And you have to trust that he knows where to go and that he's going to be exactly where he's supposed to be. And sometimes, early on, especially if he makes some mistakes, that could kind of burn you as a quarterback where, you're not going to trust him as much. You might have to wait a half second longer to make sure he's where he's supposed to be. So it's really going to come down to how fast he can get up to speed with the offense and really gain the trust of Jared Goff.
Brady, look, man, you're a gem. I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking with us through some technical difficulties. We were in Cleveland together. You know how that works.
Yeah, no, I get it. Trust me, I've been in this deal long enough to know it's hard enough to get anything to work nowadays.
Man, tell me about it. Look, man, you and the family, man. I hope you guys have a good week leading up to the Ohio State Texas.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, thank you. I'll talk to you later, B.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Oh man, we appreciate Brady Quinn, man. Some good insight there. Let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break. Let's reset. Let's come back, talk about some of the things, and then we also have some more things going on. That would be fun today. So.
I couldn't stand either one of you guys.
Either
one of you guys. Couldn't stand either one of them. I like them both.
Yeah.
I like them both.
Oh,
now.
that's right. They had the infamous comeback game.
Oh, man.
Brady,
both you guys owned us.
Was it Brady and Samardzija? Yeah, that was a.
Woo. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of him when he was wearing green and gold.
You know what I wanted to ask him, and I sometimes I don't want to do things to people, but his very first start, I want to say, was against us his freshman year or sophomore year.
How'd that go? Not well?
38-zip.
Hey, yeah, I'd leave that one out next time.
Yeah, I did.
Pretty
right. But we appreciate it. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll get a message in from Caesars as well as BlackRock.
Yeah, man. Now, if I told you placed $1,000 bet and it didn't hit, you probably think I was crazy. But I'm not, man. Caesar Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Make sure you download that right now. Scan that QR code or use the code Woodward1000 and your first deposit from $20 to $1,000, or your first bet from $20 to $1,000. If it doesn't hit, you get it back, man. Download the Caesar Sportsbook right now. It's the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use the code Woodward1000 or scan that QR code on the screen, and the first bet doesn't hit, you get your money back. So don't even worry about it. We got you.
Oh, man. Looking for some dinner plans at Sizzle? Head to Black Rock Bar and Grill, home of the steak on a stone. Mention Woodward Sports and score an exclusive 20% off your total food bill. Just for our listeners. We like to partner with people, man, that like to pay it back to the listeners, like to pay it back to the chat. So that's what we do at Black Rock. Also, check out the new summer flavors menu, the pineapple brulee cheesecake. You crack right at the table. Or crack into some crab legs. And don't forget to enter our giveaways. It's not just a meal, it's an experience. Only at Black Rock.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce. Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Ball looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network. The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Buddies, the legends, the guys that created the original deep dish pizza. I'll be honest with you guys, we live on this stuff here, but you've got to check out their brisket brew and rendezvous package. They've got a barbecue brisket pizza, barbecue chicken salad, the Buddy Brew Summer Shandy, and the Super Sundae, all at your neighborhood Buddies, or you can just find them at buddiespizza.com. Don't forget, they're more than just pizza as well. They got those smash stacks burgers done the Detroit style way. Square slice, smash stack, full flavor. Only at Buddy's Pizza. Find them at buddiespizza.com and use that promo code above my head. Save yourself 10% off your next order.
Don't you wish you could just go into a gym that had a squeaky clean locker room and there was nobody judging you on how you worked out and the machines that you were doing, and also that there were trainers there to guide you along your path? Well, that gym exists, and it's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. And now, up until August 31st, which tick-tock, we have the high school summer pass, kids 14 to 19 workout for free. Health is wealth, so we want to make sure we tap into the mental as well as the physical. But it's almost over. You got a couple days to get in there and get some workouts in, and maybe to make you want to work out in the future if you're 19 going on 20. But if you're not, get to the gym, get in shape, feel great, and you know rest. See you guys at Planet Fitness soon, where your fitness is essential. A lot to tap into after talking to BQ, and also to people in the chat, man. We appreciate you as we get into the second hour of the show. Thanks for sticking with us here on Woodward Sports Network. Technical difficulties just are part of the show.
Smash that like button, chat. You guys are killing it right now.
We'll get it together. Digesting some of the conversation that Brady Quinn, I think the last question is probably the most important to the fans and important to the show. It's the Lions' chance of winning the Super Bowl. I asked that question because a lot of times when you think about Super Bowl teams, they'll throw 10 teams out there to have the opportunity if things go right, if this happens and this player plays well. But it's really like 3 in the back of people's mind, and they're like, this team because of this team because of him, this team because of this coach and this quarterback. What about the Lions was my question to Brady Quinn, and I thought he did a really, really good job of answering that question. What say you answer?
A national sports figure likes the Lions to win the Super Bowl.
And side note, I don't know if he said he liked them to win the Super Bowl, but he said they definitely had a chance. He was one of the first to believe in Dan Campbell, to believe in his Detroit Lions team. You heard him talk about watching Amon-Ra St. Brown at USC.
All right.
So he's been on the wagon for a minute. He's come on his tour in 2022. But I'm sorry I cut you off, Anson.
Oh, no, you're good, man. It's just, we had Theo Greminger, one of the premier fantasy sports guys. In fact, we'll have him back on tonight from 7:30 to 9 for Fantasy Jerks, so make sure you're there for that. But I'm hearing...
Elite promo drop.
But I'm hearing guys like him. I'm hearing Brady Quinn. I'm hearing it all over the place that this is a team that a lot of people firmly expect to be in the Super Bowl. And that, to me, is just something I've never heard in my entire life. Obviously, last year, people were picking them. I think that, again, I'm going to come back to that word disrespect. There's so much disrespect of this team going on, and I kind of like it. There's the people like Brady that know the game, and then there's a lot of these others that just want to say, oh, it's Philly again. It's Philly again. But people are starting to realize this team has 10 different players that are arguably top 5 at their position. You guys think I'm crazy? Okay, Jack Campbell is probably the most arguable to be top 5, top 7 at his position. But from Jack Fox to Goff, the safeties, our offensive players in between, this team has every single piece you could ever need to make a full run. They didn't have health last year. That's the only thing that caught them up. And then on top of it, you got Dan Campbell. I've already heard in different interviews that he is taking it personally, that people think that this team isn't going to be as good because they have new offensive and defensive coordinators. Last time I checked, this team comes and goes with Dan Campbell. And that means that they go places with a chip on their shoulder and they leave with a W. So I love hearing Brady Quinn saying that he likes this team to be able to get to the Super Bowl, that he likes this team being able to win it. It's a recurring theme right now. This team has every single thing they need, including health, to go to the Super Bowl.
Knock on wood on that health. Go ahead, cool.
No, I was going to say, Anton, you talk about Brady Quinn. Among others, if you look kind of at the national landscape as they're preparing for the season, you're starting to hear more and more people say, well, yeah, you got to put the Lions in that Super Bowl contention window. It seems like we're out of 4 Clicks season, the part of the offseason where they just get us all riled up as Detroit sports fans. But as we're getting closer to the season, the ball knowers, the people have to stake effectively, hey, do you know ball for the season? Are the Lions a Super Bowl team or not? You're starting to hear these people change their tune now that we're getting to closer and closer to the start of the season.
And those guys didn't have to struggle through Kyle Allen and Hendon Hooker for the last 4 weeks.
Oh, man.
Like, everybody here in Detroit is going to be reminded very quickly of what this team actually is. The experts, they know.
But you were preaching, though, because that's my thing. I like the fact that Dan Campbell takes this stuff personal. And how many times now have we seen him go out there and open up an absolute can of Waterboy Whoopay on another team? That's what I liked about the Dallas Cowboys.
They love revenge, baby. They love revenge.
I loved it, and they take it personal because
yes, sir.
I remember when they went through a string of wins and they won that first division title. Dan Campbell was like, who was here back then? Who was here back then? You know what hit for me was when he looked at, I think it was Skippers or Decker. Campbell was there for some of this stuff. It means something to him. For people to think that this guy, like as if Ben Johnson was offensive coordinator the entire time. No, Dan Campbell has been the mastermind here. I'm so tired of people continuing to try to let this meathead type of persona loom in his background, some skeleton in his closet, when all he's proven himself to be is one of the most intelligent football coaches and aggressive football coaches in all of the league, to the point that you got other teams crying about it. You see the NFL, they're not finding nobody. They're like, oh, we like this out of Dan Campbell. And if people underestimate that this season, I think they're going to be in for a very, very rude awakening. They're going to remember exactly what this Lions team is.
Speaking of rude awakening, speaking of the Detroit Lions, there's a player on this team that I think is the best defensive player already, and I think that player is Brian Branch.
Ooh.
I think it's Brian Branch. I said it. I believe it. Aiden Hutchinson, we shall see. He gets back to player form. I don't think you can deny what he is. I don't think you can deny what he's capable of. Right now, I think it's Brian Branch. Somebody got paid today.
Big time.
Somebody got paid today that plays the same position as Brian Branch. That player was Kyle Hamilton of the Baltimore Ravens.
9 figures.
9-figure deal for a safety in the NFL today.
That's wild.
That changes the landscape a little bit.
It changes the landscape tremendously. Is Brian Branch next up here in Detroit to get paid as one of those players that Brad Holmes makes promises to. If you do what you're supposed to do, which he has, and more, you get paid.
You know,
will that be here? Because if he does, it's going to be double his partner in crime, Kirby Joseph, in terms of guaranteed money.
It's funny you said double, okay? Because if you take number 16 and you double it with the secondary, you get 32, and that's Jared Goff of the defense right there. He's going nowhere. He's going nowhere.
Wait. What did you just call Brian Branch?
I like
the Jared Goff of the defense. The Jared Goff of the defense, guys. He's 32.
There you
go. 16 with a secondary is 32, and I'm telling you, this guy's going nowhere.
Quick math.
He does so many things on the line, back in the backfield when he's rushing, being able to cover, being able to just smack guys into next week. This guy brings a grit, but also a mentality and intelligence that very, very few guys do. He hits like Ronnie Lott, and he understands like Ed Reed. This guy is a lion for life.
Yeah, don't sleep on how cold that Ronnie Lott was a DB and safety. Look, I like what you said. He is a cerebral player. Remember early on in his career, and don't get me wrong, he still does a thing here or there, but I think he learns from him. I think he did one thing 2 years ago. He had a couple late hits. The late hits were costing him. And then last year, I think he flipped the double bird, which, I don't mind, but you can't do it. Yeah, you can't do it out there. But he got better. He didn't have anything like that happen for the rest of the year, and that was early, the first Green Bay game. He's a monster. He's what we call a stat filler. He is a stat filler. He will have 2 sacks. He will have 5 picks. He will have 100 tackles. He will have pass deflections. He will have, and he will do it all and does it all at a high level. Like the Detroit Lions with him out there are so much better. So much better. You take him away from that fabric next year, I don't know what that looks like.
The honey brancher.
It's not gonna stick, Anson.
I went down the rabbit hole and during like the Heisman season. I kind of go down the rabbit hole of watching old Heisman seasons, like seeing what guys were. Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, who finished runner-up to Marcus Mariota. Oh my God.
He was so good.
Like his highlights are ridiculous.
His college film, unbelievable.
It's nuts. It's punt returns, it's kick returns, it's pick sixes, it's all the things. His first game was a bowl game, and he just went crazy. But I like that. He is a Honey Badger type player, man. And when he's on the field, he's just everywhere. And he has a knack for being there when it matters the most.
Hey, Kool-Aid.
What up, though?
The honey brancher.
You guys are trying to.
I've been calling him since we drafted him because you look at his tape,
since day one.
and he was like the honey badger. He played all over the place. He affected and disrupted in all different forms. But this guy does it at a higher level in the NFL than the other guy did.
Yeah, right out the gate, too.
Right out the gate.
And I think, too, it's how he came into the league. You look at Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann Mathieu came in after suspension, after missing the season, trying to figure out the way, trying to get back into the game. Brian Branch came into this league fully off an Alabama season, which he felt like he got disrespected in his draft pick. And ladies and gentlemen, he did. And for all those who don't disagree, he's got something for you right there. It's called the double bird.
He got plenty for everybody.
100%. And he came in his first game. Like he let us know. He put us on notice at Arrowhead, first game.
Yeah.
Pick 6, start the game. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. And he hasn't let us down any step of the way. He's been that since the very first game. That's how you judge a player, man. He's been locked and loaded, so I agree with that. Let's take a quick commercial break because we're going to have some fun when we come back. There's some topics around the NFL, topics around college. We talked a little bit to Brady Quinn about some of those, but I want to get you guys' thoughts on that. Maybe a player from the Jaguars, maybe what is a team in Washington going to do, and also our own division. But let's get a message in from Lady James. That's wicked awesome.
Gentlemen, we love simple stuff like Brian Branch pick sixes.
Pick 6.
We like gimmies on the golf course. We like uncomplicated. Like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. You get to walk in, you just sign in. Before you know it, your hair is done. You're looking handsome. You ready to ride. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because, well, Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Justin. Shout out to that dude, Justin, man, as he's in the building. What up, though? Woo, in the building, man. And you already know, Haley Scott, Justin Satawa, the hosting Woodward Sports' college football show. Couldn't be more proud, couldn't be more happy. And they already got off to a fast start. So you guys, if you've missed it, go back, watch the other episodes, and make sure that you guys are hitting that like button, subscribe, and stay tapped in. Tuesdays at 7:15 p.m., they go live. The Chris Fall mornings are rolling in, and you know what that means. College football is back. So stay locked in with everything college football all season long. From touchdowns to tailgates, rivalries to rankings, they got you covered, man. They really do. Don't miss a minute of the Woodward College Football Show, Tuesdays at 7:15. Your home for all things Wolverines and Spartans.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Make sure you're locked in to Woodward Sports next from 2 to 4 p.m. with the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. Get the pro insight from Michigan great Braylon Edwards and the deep analysis of Matt Shepard Monday through Friday right here on Woodward Sports. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Hey, are you tired of wearing that same old Detroit sports merch? I already know you guys are, so stay tapped in real quick. You got to listen to what I got, all right? It's a new era in sports wearables. New designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports latest gear at WoodwardSports.com. Make sure you click shop because we got hoodies, tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at WoodwardSports.com. And remember, click shop. Hey.
And we're back. I was trying to come up with some topics to talk about as it relates to the NFL, what the stories are. Obviously, Micah Parsons we'll talk about briefly because everyone's talking about it, kind of tired of hearing about it. But there's some good stories around the NFL, and I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think about the story? So this would be kind of me interviewing you. Kool-Aid, I'll go down the list this way, and then you just find it. So first story.
Yeah, just mention what the story's about.
All right, I got you. We'll start with Micah, since we already alluded to that one. We can get that one out of the way. Anson, I come to you first as it relates to Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones. I think Jerry Jones has botched this situation yet again. This is what he does.
It's weird.
It's very reminiscent of Emmitt Smith. Everyone's watching the Dallas Cowboys on Netflix, and guess what happened with Emmitt Smith? He was ascending as the best running back in the league, so they thought we know what the real best running back was. He resided here in Detroit, but they didn't want to pay the man after winning 2 Super Bowls, after winning Super Bowl MVP. Set out 2 games, Emmitt Smith did. They lost them both, and then Jerry realized, let me pay this man this $13.5 million.
Then what they do?
Won a Super Bowl.
That's right.
100%.
And what did Emmitt Smith do?
I think he was MVP.
I think he was.
I think he was MVP.
I think you're right.
I think he led the league in rushing, and he missed 2 games.
Yeah, pretty sure you're right.
And he missed 2 games because he was running behind the best offensive line ever.
Yep.
With that being said, it seems like this is just what they do. Let me just delay CeeDee Lamb until the end and then sign him right before training. Let me delay Dak Prescott. Let me delay Emmitt Smith. It seems to be the Jerry way. Like, where are you? Will Micah Parsons get paid before the season starts, and/or will he play the first game?
Won't get paid before the season starts. I don't see him sitting out. I think he's playing for a contract. And I don't know. It's a great question, a great parallel you just brought up there, because it is possible that he could sit out. There's plenty of parallels you can truly draw from this situation, both incredibly impactful on their side of the ball. But I do believe that Parsons will be in the lineup week 1 and not extended.
Kool-Aid, I come to you. Will Micah Parsons be extended by the first game, and/or will he play in the first game if he does not have a contract?
I don't think he's going to play if he doesn't have a contract. You've heard the noise from Pops. You've heard the noise from him, and now he's taking this thing public. And I feel like Jerry Jones doesn't want to cave too much. Man, you look at even with a guy like Mr. Illich, Chris Illich now, who during the offseason was like, you know what? I just don't want to give you those terms. It wasn't even about the bread. It was just about those terms. Like, you don't have the power. I feel a little bit of that with Jerry Jones. I don't think he's going to have that extension, man.
Yeah, I am in the camp that he will not get the extension. I think Micah Parsons won't play this year. I think he has.
You don't think he's going to play at all?
No.
I don't think he pays until he gets the contract. Is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Okay. I don't. The fact that the documentary dropped right as this is going on, and you see the parallel. I mean, they haven't won a Super Bowl, but you see them not pay a guy that they know is directly helping their success. Like Micah Parsons, the Dallas Cowboys have been all over the place in the last 4 or 5 years. They've been 13 wins. They've been 5 wins. They've been terrible. They've been good enough in the regular season. But one constant they've had is Micah Parsons. From the start of his career, he has acted on a level of a man-child. He's made play after play after play. When he plays, they have better opportunities to win games, and you don't want to pay him. Why would I come on the field for no money? Why would I come on and endanger the potential? You see what happened to Aiden Hutchinson last year. And if you don't want to pay me now when my value is this, worth, what happens if he get injured? What happens if he's on that table and it's not because he's tired of watching preseason? He's on that table because he's done something to himself.
But if he sits out, it's not going to help his contract value at all. He's going to be deemed a problem.
But he's already deemed that, though.
Sure. And so I think it's even more important for him to get on the field to try and dismiss that. And then the other thing is, if he doesn't play, you're looking at. I
look at Aleem McNeil, bro. You think about Aleem. What if Aleem didn't get that bread? And I wonder how much of Aleem McNeil's situation is actually ringing in Micah Parsons' head right now.
Yeah, to me, I think it's different when you look at having to sit out and then having to sell a team on your stats from the year before and having absolutely nothing. There's not a lot of guys that have sat out and come back and been successful.
That's fair. The one thing I will say, though, is Mike is unique because he's the only person to ever do the stats that he had. He's the only player to ever have 14 or more sacks in his first 4 years. He's the only player ever. So when you look at it like that, yeah, a lot may come with the podcast, a lot may come with the other stuff. Whenever he is on that field, he is ripping it up for the Dallas Cowboys and representing that star in a way that Jerry Jones should be appreciative of. If you're not going to value me when I'm doing that, then I'm sitting out.
This, I think, is more than the situation that happened with Emmitt Smith.
Right. He won Super Bowl, so I get that.
Well, and I don't think that those guys were really in a big tiff. It was one guy wanting to get paid and then the other one, not willing until they lost 2 games. This seems a little more personal. And to me, Micah is the big loser if he sits out because you don't win when Jerry Jones is involved. So hearing the things that I've heard about it, Jerry Jones seems pissed off about something, which he often does, but it seems like somewhere along the negotiation, somebody told something or said something that he felt was the wrong way or untrue, and now he's digging in. And I mean, I get the injuries and the Aleem McNeil comparison and everything like that, but if I am if I'm Micah's representation, I'm telling you to get on the field, change the narrative as to what type of human being you are, and remind everybody the kind of production that you can put up there, because you will make more money in 2026 than if you sit out.
Yeah, I'd sit out because at the end of the day, once they realize they can't get to the quarterback and they need number 11 on that field, now you got to come back with the money. We'll put a pin in that one. There is a young man who is taking over the reins at the QB position in this division for the Minnesota Vikings. And his name is J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy. You mean the white Jaden Daniels?
You know what? I like that comparison. Let's start with Kool-Aid on this side. Where are you with the possibility that J.J. McCarthy is going to step into this situation and actually flourish and give the Detroit Lions in this division all the hell they want?
You know what, man? This is pulling on my heartstrings a little bit because avid J.J. McCarthy supporter. Yes, at the greatest university of all time. Shout out to Anson's face. Go Blue, University of Michigan. But you know what? I said this last year, even with Sam Darnold, and people thought I was crazy. I told people before the season started, it would be the Vikings and not the Packers who would pose the greatest risk in NFC North to the Detroit Lions, and it's because of everything they have around the quarterback that I believe allows it to work for them. They have a defense that's going to make it easy on them. That defense goes out there and they get stops, man. And when you look at everything that they have on offense, it's just enough for a young, inexperienced quarterback to go out there and piece it together as long as he plays safe. That's what we saw him do at University of Michigan, and I do believe that gives him a chance. And for the Vikings to still continue some of that success that they had last year and be the second best team in the North, even if J.J. McCarthy's stats don't blow you away.
Right.
Yeah.
100% believe that.
Anson, you've already talked at great length. You know, you may be a Michigan State guy. We have our back and forth, but you've always respected J.J. And you said that J.J. is going to step into the situation and do well.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's first talk about Sam Darnold. Okay, I'm done talking about Sam Darnold. All right? Okay. This team has one of the best wide receiver rooms in the league.
Amen.
They've got a premier tight end. They add Jordan Mason now they got the 1-2 punch, him and Aaron Jones. Yeah. Jordan Mason, by the way, highest paid backup running back in the NFL. All right.
You saw what he did last year. Like, if he didn't get hurt last year, he was on pace for 1,300.
He's a player.
Yeah, he's
a player. Now you look at this team. To me, Vikings have a top 5-6 offense or defense. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Period. All right. This is a team that won 14 games last year with Sam Darnold. Okay.
Yeah, that's real.
You look at J.J. McCarthy, and yes, I am a Spartan, but I watched his story as the rivalry was unfolding, and this is a guy that, well, we're going to bring him here, but he's not going to be able to do it. Is it Kim or is it Cade? And then he ascends, but he's not going to be able to take him anywhere. And next thing you know, he's in a national championship game doing everything they needed him to do in that final drive to win. You said it. Now, what I saw in a microcosm of his one preseason game last year, he came out, turned over the ball in the first quarter, and then he dominated after that. And what do the Lions struggle with? Mobile quarterbacks. This guy instantly is one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the league, can throw on the run. And yes, he was a handoff merchant in college. But they've had a whole year to work with him, and we've seen that worked so well. And I know that Mahomes and Lamar came in halfway through their first seasons. But you look back at the Rodgers and the Loves and all of these guys that had time where it wasn't put right on their shoulders immediately. This kid has all the character that you could ever ask for in a premier quarterback. He's got the moxie. He does have the arm. Yeah. Absolutely has the arm. It's the decision-making and the coaching that's going to take him to the next level. But personally, I believe he's the second best quarterback
in that draft.
NFL. No, second in that draft, but the second best in our division as well. No catfish. Yeah. No thank you on catfish. And I respect Jordan Love, but 2 years from now, I respect Jordan Love. I don't love him. I'm not drafting him, but I will say this.
No.
I got J.J. McCarthy shares in all my dynasty leagues. He is going to scare the hell out of Lion fans every time we match up with him because he is him.
I don't have to talk too much about it. You already did. I would just add to the point that, Kevin O'Connell had a chance to bring Sam Darnold back. He didn't. Kevin O'Connell had a chance to bring back a backup quarterback that could potentially argue for the starting job. He didn't. They trust J.J. McCarthy. You talk about the handoff merchant. They watched him work out. They bought him in. They have doubled down and tripled down on J.J. McCarthy at every turn. And the one thing I do like, you mentioned the defense, you mentioned the offense. They just added Adam Thielen to the team today. We know Jordan Addison won't be playing for the first 6 games. They add Adam Thielen. You may say he's old. You may say he's past his prime. All he does is give you
effective
800 yards, 7-8 touchdowns, and the man catches first downs. I like that. He had 700 yards 685 in 10 games last year. He missed 7 games, still had 685. He had 5 touchdowns. So I'm excited to see what that looks like for him because he's going to be a professional receiver for young J.J. McCarthy. I like
and the crowd there, they're going to get 3 times as loud every time Thielen gets a first down as anyone else. He is the hometown guy. But I got to give a shout-out real quick to our chat. You got us to 150 likes already.
Yes, sir.
Fired up.
The goal is 200, all right?
Let's
If
do
you
it.
hit 200 likes or if you hit $80 in Super Chats, the Iserman statue is going along with the awesome Braylon one-handed catch over Darrelle Revis, silver signed autograph. Oh, and you know what, Bray? Yeah. I'm doubling Super Chats for the rest of the show. Let's go.
Let's go. And you know what, though? And while we shout out to you guys, man.
Love you, buddy.
Shout out to Shep, man. We miss you, man, Shep. I know he would love to have a shout out right now. So
shout out Shep, baby.
But you said something there as we talk about these NFC North quarterbacks, man. I can't let it go. Jordan Love, man. What's going on there?
So
with
Kool-Aid, what do you think about Jordan Love? What is it love?
Be honest with us.
Be honest. Now, be honest.
Don't give me that.
Kool-Aid, now, if you're going to make a comment, you got to add some stats with it. Man. You got to add some context.
Yeah,
you
can't just say something.
Well, look, no, Jordan. What I was going to say with Jordan Love is this. You got the expectations the last 2 years of the Packers on every national media radar. People saying that they're ready to pass up the Lions, and this is before the Lions even won a division. Yeah. What do we get? The Lions won a division. You get Brian Gutekunst making his stupid remarks about we don't raise division banners, and what happened the next year? Not only did we smack them again, but then you lost your number 2 spot to the Vikings. For me to respect Jordan Love, he has to finally punch the ticket on the expectations. And if the Packers are not better than the Lions or the Vikings, I can't use that R word with them yet.
I like to take on Green Bay because if you look at Gutekunst, if you look at Jordan Love, if you look at Matt LaFleur's on the sideline and the little issue with the flag, it just seems like they're starting to turn the corner on their feathers being really ruffled into what they were. All right, let's move on. New Aaron, same old Justin. New York Jets, my squad. You brought them up. You talked about them. The New York Jets, Jets. Are they going to be Jets this year? Aaron Glenn, we know what he came at. He was the number 1 coordinator as ranked by the players last season, the year before. But he's got Justin Fields, a journeyman quarterback at this point. He's still young, but he's been on 4 teams now. 1, 2, 3.
This is hilarious.
13.
What you talking about, nephew?
What say you? He's looking at it. He's like, man, what the hell are you talking about? What you mean you're going to hit the second option on that play? First option's open. No, what do you think about this Jets team? Because obviously defense, they have some talent on defense side of the ball. You look at Quinn Williams. You look at Sauce Gardner, Detroit Kings' own. But that offensive side of the ball, the quarterback, they cannot get the quarterback right. What say you, Justin Fields, New York Jets?
No, they will not be the same old Jets. This team will be responsible. Each man on that 53-man roster will be responsible to the other, and that's because of that man right there, AG. He brings a different culture and tempo and responsibility. He makes sure everyone is responsible for not only their assignments on the field, but them as a human being and as a man. Everything I've seen out of over there, from his press conferences to the practices, it might not happen overnight in terms of the first month of the season, but AG will have them absolutely on the right path. I love the fact that they're going to have Isaiah Davis along with my boy Braylon Allen and Breece Hall.
Still crazy.
With this running back for a quarterback, you got 4 weapons, and they're going to grind you into the dirt if they can. And then the defense on the other side of the ball will be able to do the same. So they might be winning time of possession in a lot of games, Braylon, and that's going to give them an opportunity to be an above 500 team. I'm not calling it, but 9 wins is not crazy by any means.
I think they're floating on the line of 8-9 or 9-8. I definitely think they're floating there. I think it's because of Aaron Glenn. I think it's because of the defense. The offense has some interesting players, but you just don't know how it's going to look with Justin Fields. Let's go to the guy that used to be the quarterback for the New York Jets, who's now in Pittsburgh. I call this the desperate situation. And that is Mike Tomlin, and that is Aaron Rodgers. You look at them, Mike Tomlin, yeah, he keeps having the stat that he hasn't had a losing record. But ladies and gentlemen, when's the last time he went to the playoffs and actually won a game? When's the last time you actually believed in the Pittsburgh Steelers? I'm being honest. When's the last time you believed in them? When's the last time they didn't look disorganized on offense? Well, they brought in Aaron Rodgers to see about it. They also brought in DK Metcalf, so he's on my fantasy team. I hope he has a good year. What say you? Is Aaron Rodgers, is he and Mike Tomlin, are they going to do anything to refigure out that Super Bowl from 2011, which they both were in, just on opposite sides?
Hey, you know what? If they're going to do it, it's going to be this year. I don't think there's much left in the tank, personally, for Aaron Rodgers. And you're right, there's been a lot left to be desired as it relates to Mike Tomlin. At least the one that I continue to just give the pass to, because of what he was when I was younger and watching them win a Super Bowl right here in Detroit at Ford Field. But I think that it is, as you put it, man, a team of desperation, but I don't believe that it's going to be enough to actually spur them on to anything of substance. Will there be some sizzle? Yeah, there'll be some moments, but I don't think it's going to be all out Black Rock. Nah, I don't think it's going to be the full substance, if you know what I'm saying.
I like what you did there.
Shout out to them on the bottom screen there. Get your 20% off.
I like what you did there. I totally agree. Here's one that's not on here, but I want to bring it up. I think this is a good one to throw in now. The Washington Commanders. Are they going to continue what they did last year? Detroit Lions fans were all too familiar with Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders, what happened last year in the playoffs. I asked that question. There's a such thing as a sophomore slump.
C.J. Stroud.
I'm just throw that in there 100%. Now, there were injuries involved, but nonetheless, there's a sophomore slump. There's also the Washington Commanders have the oldest roster in the NFL, and it's the oldest roster in 20 years of the NFL.
I didn't know that.
You got Von Miller, you got Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz. I mean, the coach is in the 60s, so it just lets you know what it is. There's a 17-game season. Does that matter? Is that just a stat that it's a random stat, or does that play into the season for the Washington Commanders?
I think it has to play in. I mean,
18 weeks is a long time when you're dealing with a lot of guys 35.
Yeah. But that experience certainly paid off for them last year.
It did.
You know, they finished,
Bobby Wagner was amazing.
Yeah, they finished about 3 games that they easily could have lost. Obviously, the Hail Mary against Catfish Caleb and the Chicago Bears. Chicago, sorry. So, anyway, I look at what they were able to do with that experience. I look at the additions like a Debo and some others. I do believe that those close games that they barely lost or that they barely won last year won't be quite as close, but they're going to be a 10-win team, probably enough to get in the playoffs. I don't see a sophomore slump for this kid. He plays at such a high level, both cerebrally, checkdowns. He has some of the best ball fakes and just actual, hand placement and it's trickery, kind of like Mahomes and Rodgers back in the heyday. So he brings a lot of things beyond just his running ability and his throwing ability. The team absolutely has gravitated towards him, and he leads, they follow. I don't think that they take this big step where we're going to see them in the NFC Championship, and they also could miss the playoffs. But I still see them probably about the 6th seed. And make sure you get that man on your fantasy team, guys.
Yeah, 100%. I just sent something to the Slack for you over there, Ricky. Gotcha. See if you get a second. Here's another one, spur of the moment. I don't know why I didn't have him on the original. There's a team in Florida that moved up in the draft to draft a certain individual, and that individual is Travis Hunter. We know what he did in Colorado. He won the Heisman last year. He played, on average, 112 snaps a game. On average. If you move up the spaces that the Jacksonville Jaguars did to draft Travis Hunter, does he have to play both ways, and does he have to average, 100 plays or more?
Well, I love
him. Or is it a letdown?
I love him as a receiver, but nobody is trading up that value and giving up that capital to get the receiver of what he was ranked as.
Well said.
But Charles Woodson and this guy, the only 2 Heisman that are defenders, right?
Yeah, that was like
little difference. Obviously, a caveat, but this guy. I'm approaching very precarious territory there because my man loves himself some Charles Woodson.
You're right, but the only difference is Charles was the #1 DB.
Yeah, well, I know
Yeah.
I was fooling with you
I like it, though.
more than
I like
anything.
it.
But
I appreciate it.
I knew I'd get him on that one. But
did.
no, you look at what he brings to both sides of the ball, and I think that there was a lot of question before the draft where he would go because of that. Are they, some of these teams saying I'm not going to play him at wide receivers. We even heard some teams saying they wouldn't play him at D-back. But this guy, they have a #1 there, BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr.
It's fire.
Absolute stud. So he's not going to be asked to be their #1, but the kind of receiver he is going to fit right in for Trevor Lawrence, a guy that I've never been a fan of. Kind of feel like he's slept on right now, at least in fantasy circles.
He should be.
He's primed to have a great season now. He didn't find BTJ really until about halfway through the season, realized what he had. Now he's got this kid playing both sides of the ball. I have not been more intrigued to see a player come out of college maybe this century, to be quite honest with you.
That's true. I was interested to see what Percy Harvin was going to be when he was coming out of Florida.
Loved him.
Like, he was one of those ones like, man, what are they going to do with Percy Harvin? I definitely agree. I'm not a Trevor Lawrence sympathizer. However, the conversation over the last couple of years for me was, look how it started with Urban Meyer. And then look how it was when you bring in the head coach from the Philadelphia Eagles and it not work because his guy was Frank Reich. And when he was with Frank Reich's quarterbacks, his offense, it looked well. When you didn't have him, it didn't look the same. So he's kind of had a hodgepodge of coaches, offensive coordinators, and it hasn't looked right. So we'll see if it works this time. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we get back, I think Anson wants to talk about some other things, if you will. We got some sports.
Lots on tap, man.
We got lots on
sure.
tap, man.
Keep smashing that like button,
100%.
guys.
We appreciate you guys. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Belizean. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Welcome back, Brother Nova Show. As we wrap up the day, we appreciate you guys for being patient. Love that we had Brady Quinn in here. We're able to get him on and get the insight that he had about college football. The landscape is going to be interesting this year. One question that I wanted to ask him, we'll get back into the NFL, but one question I wanted to ask him about the new system in NCAA, the playoff system. It's not like it was last year. A lot of people complained about SMU getting a bye, Arizona State getting a bye. They complained about that. So now, as opposed to this is what it is based on being undefeated, based on winning conferences, it's just the best teams. It is the ranking order. So now the 1 through 12, that will be your ranking. That will be how people get buys. It won't be because you're undefeated or because you're there. Are you the best team? That's going to be the system this year, so I think it'll be a lot better. Getting back. And
I don't think anybody should get buys.
No.
It should be 16 teams or 8, period.
Yeah, because it's not fair. At the end of the day, if I got to play these extra games, you do too. Like, I don't care what your record was. Like,
Sure.
If you want to make it like college, that's how it is in college.
Because some writer in the beginning of the season put you higher than you should have been, and now you got to buy. Yeah. It's silly. No thanks.
We got some information. we're almost at the end of the show. We'll save this conversation for tomorrow. We'll be back here at 2 to 4. Braylon Edwards with Shep. We'll be back tomorrow. Got a couple more of these stories. One of the big stories in college that I can't believe we don't talk about more, Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick at UNC, him and his girlfriend.
Papa.
How is
Papa
Ricky?
Belichick.
You seem excited. I'm gonna go to you first.
That's Big
What is
Papa
the
right
Bill Belichick, Big Papa Belichick?
Yeah.
What does that situation look like for UNC and him?
I can't even tell you anything about the football because it's all about his girl.
Oh,
So,
that's
like,
what we.
that's what we talk about.
You can talk about that. Go ahead.
It's basically everybody's gonna be paying attention to where his girl's sitting. I feel like she's gonna get more airtime than Taylor Swift, if that's possible.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, she's like an influencer, a cult classic. Portnoy gets a lot of that too. Do you think this will be successful? Do you think this UNC run? I think. I'll let you go first. Do you think there will be success for Bill Belichick to be had in the ACC?
Bill Belichick. That's my answer. Yes, absolutely. This guy's been able to deflect anything else that's ever come their way, from Deflategate to Edelman photos the morning after a championship and everything in between. This is the damn hoodie, even though he looks pretty dapper in his Smurf suit there. But listen, this guy is Bill Belichick. He's going to a place where the bar is really low, Bray. You know what I'm saying? It's UNC football.
It's
you know,
UNC
I mean, like,
football.
what do you? How do you get fired from that job? Only win 3 games, 4 games?
Yeah.
This guy's going to go and win at least 50% of his games his first year. And people will come there because recruits like big names. They understand that this guy knows what it is to be a NFL player. He coached at the NFL level at the highest, most rings. So, hey, you come here, I'm going to get you prepped for the NFL. And he's going to get recruits, and they're going to be fine.
I noticed you didn't call Bill Belichick a cheater.
Oh, he's a cheater.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Absolutely.
I just want
I'm
to make
saying
sure you're keeping the status
He
quo.
deflects that stuff like Michigan does.
Okay.
They're both pros.
See, there
man.
we go. Okay,
Hey, I
all
will
right,
give you
fair.
guys your flowers. Listen, when it comes to it, if you can get by it, you didn't cheat, I guess.
100%.
Might as well try it. I like that.
It ain't blanking if you're trying. But you're absolutely right. You look at Bill Belichick, and I don't think he's given enough credit. I think somewhere along the way, you've demeaned the what is he, 6 + 2? You've demeaned the 8 Super Bowls that he's won. You've demeaned what he's been as a defensive genius, defensive savant, knowing his game. Everybody, you forget that. Like, you're talking about more football than everybody in this state put together. Everybody in the state put together wouldn't amount to the knowledge that he has, and I think he's going to influence that in UNC. You said it's a low bar. Also, I think taking that year off, being on the desk, having some fun with Pat McAfee, learning not to take yourself so serious, dating a girl just at 19 years old,
Not
and
mad at it.
having some fun, getting his groove back, as you say. I think it's going to allow him to tap into the players a little bit differently. I don't think he's coming in with the same energy that he was in Foxborough. So I think it's going to be successful.
I got a question for you.
I got an answer.
You got an 18-year-old son. He not recruited by Michigan, but this guy wants him. You sending him to UNC to play for Bill Belichick?
Who else is he recruited by?
What's the money look like?
Yeah, right.
NIL.
What's the money looking like?
It's as competitive as anywhere. He's got 5 solid offers. One's not Michigan. Maybe one state. But
yeah, you know what? But you know what? I wouldn't have a problem with it. One, he can go wherever he would like, and actually that day is actually nearing. We'll talk about that later. I wouldn't mind, because in this landscape, the transfer portal, you can, if it's not working out, you're not handicapped to Bill Belichick for 3 years. You don't have to put up with it if it's not working. And you don't have to put up with it, son. Look, you gave it a try. It's Bill Belichick. We got some money out of the deal, but let's go to a more inviting atmosphere. More welcome.
And you know how many parents around the nation over the next year are going to be having that same conversation and coming to the same conclusion?
It's a good one.
No doubt.
And you know, man, just like Ricky, the headline that I saw today, I know more about their headlines and their off-the-field stuff.
Yeah.
They went and they're trying to get a patent or something like that, or trademark for Gold Digger.
Really?
Because they're about to start their own jewelry line.
Is that like Taco Tuesday? Because I'm pretty sure Ron lost on that one.
Tuesday. Last question, then we'll get into the mailbag. Look, this is a team that is becoming the bane of our existence as it relates to talking about it. It's the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champs. They are the champs. They're returning champs. But will they have a Super Bowl hangover? Because one of the interesting things they did on their roster, they made a lot of roster moves. Some of the guys that were on this team hosting this Lombardi last season are no longer with them. What does this look like for Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and the Philadelphia Eagles? Has enough left to really be an interesting year for them, because their schedule is just as hard as the Detroit Lions.
You mean the team that was going to fire their coach in Week 8 last year?
100%. They figured it out, though, didn't they?
Yeah, they
All that
certainly
noise
did.
in the locker room.
Yeah, they certainly did. But, hey, the NFC is different from the AFC. It just seems so up and down for, like, the competitor. You know, Kansas City, every year we can pencil them in.
Yeah.
You know, the Bills, Lamar, with the...
Rashi Rice got his sentencing today.
Yes, he did.
Six games for the reckless driving that he had on the freeway last April, I do believe, racing in Dallas. 6 games down from 10.
Yeah, he's looking real good as my 4th-round pick right now, but in the Woodward. But no, this situation in Philly, to me, they're going to be probably the 4th or 5th seed or miss the playoffs entirely. They lost some serious pieces. There's also a number attached to Saquon, and it's a very dangerous number. The amount of touches that he had last year, if you go back through the last 20 years and find a guy that touched the ball as many times as Saquon and wasn't hurt the next year, well, you'll be able to fit him in the palm of your hand. There's very, very few. So there's a lot of things going against the Super Bowl defending champs right now.
Yeah.
I still think they're a playoff team. But that it's Philly, man. Stuff falls apart just as quickly as it comes together.
I like that. And with that, we'll wrap up the show, man. We appreciate you guys. Just get into this mailbag, Kool-Aid.
Hey, definitely. You know, I already see a couple in here from our chat family. Saw one from Dante151 as well. And he's a little concerned with those Detroit Tigers every time they face the A's. He's saying, what the heck is up with it, man? What the heck is up with it? Seems like the A's got the Tigers' number in the regular season.
Realistically, that's been the case for a very long time. That's
feels
not
like a
new.
decade,
Yeah,
man.
maybe even longer.
Plus.
I wouldn't pay much attention to it. I think the Tigers are in a really good spot right now. I think you're getting some great pitching out of Tarek Scuba, and even the bullpen as well, especially the closers. I think you're getting some hitters. You're getting some hitting, some good hitting from the hitters. It's just one of those things. Like, it's one of those things you lose to a certain team. Like, it's just happens. I wouldn't pay too much attention to it as it relates to Oakland Athletics. I told you what happens. Sometimes you go to Lifetime and you got that 5 on the court, and you looking like, I'm about to whoop these dudes. Guys got the baggy shorts, man. It's just look unathletic, unin shape. Guys about 5'5", 5'7". You like, man, we're going to this court and bust them up. And then you look up, man, and they haven't missed a 2-pointer.
Yeah,
and you look up and the score is 10-2.
Mid-range.
You're like,
crispy.
damn, how did this happen? How did this happen? They have not missed a 2-pointer, and you get skunked. It's kind of like that.
All with no hops, too.
You play down to the level of your no hops. But also, but add everything into it. They've been on a run. They've been on a heater in terms of some serious games, some serious series that they fought through, that they've won, and now they close out here, and now they go on the West Coast, and now they play in this crappy situation that the Athletics have going. I don't even know where the A's play. Where are they playing? They playing some JUCO college?
Like
they playing out in the desert somewhere? Where the hell do they even play at? So I'm not mad at the Detroit Tigers for going out to God knows where, playing the Oakland Athletics, or the Las Vegas Athletics, or the Sacramento Athletics, or wherever they want to be, and losing. It is what it is. We'll take a loss or two.
Ask Sid Irvin about the time little old Opie dropped 8 on him at the IM West over there at Michigan State.
It happens from time to time. I'm not too worried about it.
I was Opie.
I
tried boxing him out at one point, and I really got a body on him, and he came back down and said, "Oh, you want to box out?"
We played.
He put me into the cement wall.
This would have been my sophomore summer going into my junior year. We were playing at the CCRB up there in Michigan, and it's me, Marlon Jackson, Dave Underwood was on our team, Lamar, Prescott Burgess. Like, we had a squad of football players. But, we playing against some guys in the engineering program, and they had some size, tall.
They had plays drawn up, though.
What? They were
backdoor cuts.
The
and
annexation of Puerto Rico.
School of Engineering.
And we went in there talking stuff, and we looked up. Yeah, we got ran out the gym.
That's the worst.
Like, what happened?
It's like playing Duke.
We played those same guys about a week or two later, and we beat them. Like, we blew them out. How did we lose this guy? You went in there.
You slept on him the first time you came out.
And now we were prepared. We went out there and we prepared, and we took care of business. just like we did on this show. This was it's a challenging show, man. Look, man, life is full of.
I got one more question. I got one more question.
I heard the music coming on. I got worried.
Oh, look, this is a good one, or maybe it's not. Simo313 asks this.
Simo, which Simo is this?
Is
this the infamous?
Is this the infamous? Shout out to Simo.
Shout out to Simo. They was lying on you, Simo. They was lying. They were lying on you. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Kool-Aid. You about to get us canceled.
Bray is a legend, dog. He says, will Isaac Tesla end up with more catches than Jameson Williams?
He's best stay his ass away from Simo, I tell you that. What, J-Mo? No, Tesla won't have more catches than Jameson Williams. J-Mo's about, like, hear me when I say this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hear me when I say this. J-Mo is about to have a year. Like, J-Mo is about to have a year that he's going to be a Pro Bowler and is going to borderline on how good the Lions are if he's all pro. Like, it just is what it is. And
Pro Bowl J-Mo?
And St. Brown is that unselfish to where it can happen and he wouldn't bat an eye. And he would be in favor of it. Yep. He would help it happen.
Talk to him.
I have J-Mo at 75. I got J-Mo at 75, 13, 85, and 15.
Boy.
Ooh,
like
15,
that's where I have J-Mo.
Man.
Johnny Mo's gonna throw the ball down the field. When you come into Ford Field or the Lions come into your stadium, what are you most afraid of? David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, yeah,
it's the running attack.
Yeah, you're right.
It's the running attack.
Hey,
So-
forget that
and
Sam
then-
Laporta exists. I dare defenses to forget that he exists, man.
Everybody's getting 1,500 yards.
Yeah.
Sam Laporta, you get 1,500.
Right. When you
J-Mo,
like
you
that,
get
you think about it,
1,500.
you're like, yeah, how could y'all not?
So, okay. Here,
Right?
so
Whoever they double, just throw it the other way.
So hear me out as it's 4 o'clock. Hear me out. Is this a Jared Goff MVP season?
Ooh. No, we don't win awards here.
Stat-wise, yes, but they're not gonna give.
We
it
don't
to
win
him.
awards here.
But-
That's right. That's right, Rick.
But this is the difference. Dan and Jared are both in line. Why? Jared no longer has his handicap, which is Ben Johnson. They keep giving him all the credit anyway.
Right, I like
So
that.
if Jared puts
I
up
like
those
that.
numbers, if Jared leads this team yet again, why can't he get the credit? And Dan Campbell, well, he doesn't have Aaron Glenn, who you said it was because of him. It's his culture, his identity. He doesn't have Ben Johnson, who's the offensive guru behind all these trick plays. It's Dan. I think this is a year where Dan and Jared, it's in their hands.
Stop the disrespect.
Jared Goff could be MVP, and so could Dan
Stop the
Campbell.
disrespect and give DC his
And
due.
that's how we're going to end the show.
No doubt. And we're going to give away a prize, too.
Yes, we are.
Now, I need 5 more likes to give away this Iserman.
Yeah, hold him
Smash
hostage.
that like.
Hold
Come
him
on.
hostage.
Come on. 5 likes. Let's get it.
Hold on. Let me
Let's
get
get
the
it.
like.
I know it's going to happen, so I'm going to go ahead and include it, but I need those 5 likes. Let's shuffle this bad boy up. 1, 2, 3,
And go.
and 4, and we are going to, whoops.
All right,
And we
there's
are
a
going to
like.
spin it here.
Pete taught you that, huh?
He did.
Pete
What,
taught you.
what not? Thank
Who
you
we
for
got?
what
Who we
not.
got? Who do we
is it?
have? Who do we
is
have?
it?
Mike Weary.
The light police.
Michael Weary.
The light police. He is solely responsible. Well, we put together a nice show too, but Michael, you are always on the likes. You got
Shout
us
out
to
to
200
Michael
today.
Weary. He deserves
the
it.
chat, you guys were tremendous today. This stuff's coming home to you, Michael. And hey, it was great to be back home with y'all.
Appreciate seeing you. Look,
Love
man,
you
we'll be
always,
back
man.
tomorrow. The show will be rocking and rolling. We appreciate our guest, Brady Quinn. He was dynamic and dynamite as always. And we appreciate you guys. Thank you for sticking with us through it all. 4 years we've been at this thing, man. 4 years we've been at this thing. We really appreciate you guys. And hey, prayer does work. See you guys tomorrow.
201 likes.
There we go.
Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep
Edwards has it. 10, 5, touchdown.
on the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep,
Ball looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.